welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I have been called to do yet another karmic reading. I'm not really sure why. I'm not really one to focus on that kind of thing, but right now I'm really getting that there is a lot of karmic energy, not just to do with relationships. I was very guided to do one very focused on people who are in a situation where their masculine is with another person, is with a karmic partner, or so it's very to do with a romantic situation this time round. A couple of the other karmic readings that I've done recently, it's to do with any kind of situation that is to do with past karma from this life, other lives, etc., etc. This is very much to do with what in the twin flame community is considered to be the karmic partner. Simply because I got some downloads that one, the divine masculine really wants to get away and is energetically is retreating, and the karmic partner can really sense this. And the group that I'm channeling right now, it's a very, I hate to say it, but a manipulative group of karmic feminines or women or whatever you want to call them. That end of they don't necessarily have to be women, obviously, but it's the feminine end of the spectrum in terms of energy. So those people, the group that I'm channeling, are extremely manipulative, and they're very much kind of withholding at sometimes to do with their emotions and how they act towards the divine masculine, and at other times they're very clingy and needy and codependent. But it all springs from codependency, and it all springs from a massive sense of lack and a need to control, a need to really restrict the divine masculines as well, and control them, make them feel bad sometimes, make them addicted to things that might be an illusion that are meant to be good, making a show of things. And there's very much an element of the divine masculine is starting to see through it and not liking it, and that's the energy that I'm getting. And there's a sense of desperation from these karmic women because they can sense that the time is coming for this thing to end. There's a sense of fear and foreboding and panic almost. So they're going to change it up and do whatever they can in their power to keep the divine masculine with them, because they know that he's kind of stolen goods. He's kind of not meant for them, but they're desperate to keep him for whatever reasons. So, and that is actually reflected in the cards. I will talk about those as well. The reason these karmic readings are so important at the moment is that it's because of a lot of the planetary transits that are going on at the moment as well. There's a Saturn transit, Jupiter, Mercury, all of these retrogrades, are happening at the moment. I believe Chiron as well, and a couple of other planets. And what I'm getting is that all of this it's a chance. Yes, I know everyone always talks about these retrogrades, or everything goes haywire and it's chaos and everyone feels terrible, and that might be true for some people, but also they're a gift in the sense that it's a time to revisit things that haven't been properly concluded, and it's a chance to conclude those things, and those all of that unfinished business, all those loose ends, all of that rubbish that's been buried is being dredged up in various different spheres of life. I'm not going to go into them because it's a bit long-winded, but they're all getting dredged up right now, and it's a perfect time to kind of get them sorted out and essentially kill all those things off once and for all, put them to bed and forget about them, put them to death almost. And it's very much about rebirth right now. It's very much about moving on to bigger and better things. And also whatever is not meant for you, let's get that out of the way now. It's really becoming aware of that and evolving onto the next level. So without further ado, let's go on and see, this spread. So the first line, I'm starting with the karmic and then the divine masculine, because feminine first, ladies first, whatnot. I don't know why I'm starting with it, but that's just how it was meant to be. So the first line is how they are, just their general energy at the moment. Second is how they're feeling towards the relationship, towards the divine masculine. The third line is how the divine masculine is feeling towards the relationship, towards them, the karmic. And then the fourth line is just generally how the divine masculine is. And then I'm using 3 sets of oracle cards for some other messages as well. So we've got, for the karmic, we've got Princess of Swords, Princess of the Rushing Winds. She came up upside down. And this is the Page of Swords, but upside down. This is very much about strategy, but a panic, because the strategies aren't working. The strategies, the ways of manipulation, all the sort of mental mind games that she's trying to use. She's using them in excess. She's panicking a bit, using them out of desperation. It's actually grating on the divine masculine in many ways, especially on a subconscious level. Like, it just doesn't sit well. We've also got the King of Swords here, Prince of the Chariots of the Winds. And this is about, really, she knows what it is that she wants, and she's going to try in a very, I'm getting a very kind of, what's the word, overbearing way to kind of get it. Almost ruthless. And also from the King of Swords, I'm getting a real sense of, this is to do with the Saturn retrograde. This is very much to do with karma coming full circle. This is about karmic justice. It's about things that need to happening so that it's almost like a sense of duty. In terms of, these people very often will have unfinished karma from, and karmic debts, karmic things that are owed, and karmic, credits and balances basically need to be balanced out. And that's what's happening right now. So it's very much a period that's auspicious for all of those coming to a resolution. A resolution is what I'm getting. So that's why all of the, this desperation is because we're coming to the time where those things are resolved, and that's the end of everything, because that's reflected in the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a nice major arcana, Lord of the Forces of Life. This is very much, the forces of life are the planets. This is like a celestial kind of chart. This is the orbit, and it's all of those forces that shape us in our lives. They all affect us. And it's kind of, those are the portals, the gateways for certain things, the signals almost for certain things to get the go-ahead to happen. And it's very well supported for all of this stuff to get resolved right now so that they can move on. And then we've got the Knight of Cups in reverse as well. And that is the Lord of Waves and Waters. And because it's the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's kind of a lack of fulfillment of the desires. The Knight of Cups, I'm seeing that the karmic people really want this knight to rush in and rescue them and save them and offer them themselves and all their emotions and everything. But that's just not happening. They want them to ride the waves and do X, Y, and Z. There's a huge amount of manipulation and really hemming in the divine masculine to try and be this Knight of Cups, but it's not working. It's just not really happening. How they feel towards the relationship. My cards are flying about all over the place. We've got the Lovers came out in reverse. So, children of the voice divine. This is kind of just a reflection of them knowing that it's not the real deal. It's not right. Their union is just, it's not divine. It's not, I hate to say it's not divine, because at the end of the day, everything is divine. But in the sense that most people understand it, their relationship is not the real deal. It's not the highest of the high. It's not the highest possible option. And it's getting in the way of true love. and the divine masculine is not for her, and she knows that. She really would like this new start, and may very well be trying to manifest this new start with the Ace of Pentacles, Lord of the root of the powers of earth. Some of them might be using earth-based magic and manipulation and stuff like that and manifestation in a very gross kind of way. When I say gross, I mean the opposite of subtle. I don't mean disgusting. Although there may be some overlap there. It's very, very much a case of she's trying very hard to manipulate, to manifest things in a very forceful, inauthentic way. And it's not going to work. If anyone tries to manifest things that aren't meant for them, it causes a lot of more karmic repercussions for yourself and bondage. And that's not really what you want. This is a really great time for liberation. We've got all these kind of swords cards and stuff coming up. But she's trying to do earth-based kind of manipulative magic and stuff that's not right, basically, because it goes against the divine order, it goes against true love, it goes against what's truly meant for the people involved. And that's reflected in the High Priestess reverse, the Priestess of the Silver Star. This is a representation of this stuff is just not working anymore. It's just not working. And it's also a representation of the distortion of the karmic woman, the karmic feminine, I should say, the karmic, because it's not based on gender, but this karmic person is distorting the path of the divine, essentially, of what's right, of dharma. So we've also got the King of Pentacles, Prince of the Chariot of Earth, with Death reversed, which is child of the great transformers. So she's very, very resistant. She's very, very resistant to the divine masculine actually moving away, and the divine masculine actually, she's very resistant to allowing what's meant to happen on Earth to happen on this planet in the physical sense. She's really clinging on and trying everything in her power to manipulate, to change the course of destiny, to get what she wants, because she's very stuck in ego. She's very, very stuck in ego and desire and borderline obsession. Very, very stubborn, very bloody-minded, pig-headed. That's the kind of energies that I'm getting. And it's very repelling. You think, oh yeah, that's terrible, blah, 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 how bad. It's kind of doing everyone a favour, because it's actually very, very repellent to the divine masculine who wants freedom. Now, the divine masculine, it's interesting how the Lovers reversed is right underneath the Hierophant, because the marriage is actually what I'm getting from this. He wants marriage in the highest, truest form. It's Magus of the eternal gods. He's kind of looking to the things that he really wants, and this is like, he wants tradition, he wants stability, he wants a wife who he can introduce to everyone, and or a girlfriend or whatever, or a boyfriend, or just a partner, regardless of gender or whatever. He wants someone to, and also the divine masculine doesn't have to be a man, but this person wants someone who he can be in a stable relationship with. Oops. And we've also got the Moon, ruler of flux and reflux. This is very much to do with the dance, the ebb and flow. There's so much kind of toing and froing of energies, and it's quite exhausting, especially with all these retrogrades and all these very powerful full moons and new moons and eclipses that are happening. It's exhausting for the divine masculine, and it's this interchange between energies is really, really drawing out to the surface lots of deeply buried things from within the divine masculine's psyche. So he might be looking, also with the Hierophant, he might be looking for a spiritual guide, he might be looking to God, he might be looking to religion, he might be turning to some form of guidance or help or counselling or counsel from someone. It could be friends or family, whatever, but he's looking for some form of guidance, and it's to do with this relationship. He doesn't know what to do about it. He's feeling a bit lost and confused, as well, because there's so much kind of, and I'm getting also the divine masculine is realizing how manipulative and confusing the karmic is, how negative. So all of those realizations are happening, and also there is he's seeing a lot of deception. He's seeing 1 minute the karmic is acting one way and being very, very withholding. The next minute the karmic is being extremely, clingy or something else, or manipulative, or trying to be very sweet. Everything on the surface is very, very, there's a lot of deception going on, basically. There's a lot of and he's starting to see it, because he sees that it's not right, because justice is upside down and the Two of Cups is also in reverse. So, those cards are Daughter of the Lord of Truth and the Lord of Love. So these are in reverse. He can see that it's fake. He can see all this this tomfoolery that is going around. He sees right through it, and he's flowing away from the relationship, just like all the water from these two cups. And everything that he put in these scales, he put all his eggs in this basket, and they're all just falling out. They're all falling straight out. So he's being very repelled by what's going on. We've also got the Knight of Wands in reverse, Lord of Flame and Lightning. And he's feeling all of this happen, but he may not really feel at the moment that he's got what it takes to move away at the moment. He's not really quite sure what to do. But then this is a sign of a lot of fights, of a lot of, yes, they're still feeling very stuck. Everything in this line is in reverse as well. And there's a lot of reversals here. So intense emotions, confusion, a lack of stability, and a moving away. There's definitely an energetic. This is also very, very symbolic. This Knight of Wands reversed is very, because in the way that the cards are split, this is very much, you can see here, transformation is following this Knight of, the Death card here is following this Knight of Wands, and really sending him further and further away into the arms of, pretty much energetically, the divine feminine, who is truly meant for him. So that's what's going on. He's feeling energetically and subconsciously very, very repelled. Where he is at the moment, we've got the Seven of Wands, Lord of Valor. He is feeling like there are battles and obstacles at the moment, but he's starting to see that he can overcome them and actually use them as a sort of ladder to get where it is that he wants to get. There's actually a pattern there. There's actually a meaning. There's actually some kind of pathway that he's seeing that he didn't used to see before. We've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, which are the Lord of Wealth and the Lord of Success Unfulfilled. This is exactly how he's feeling. He wants the Ten of Pentacles. He knows that he's not in the Ten of Pentacles at the moment. He's worked really hard on this karmic relationship, and it's just not satisfying. He's done everything right. He's ticked all the boxes. He's, and she was supposed to have ticked all the boxes as well, and it was supposed to, make everybody happy, and all the people around them that said, yeah, this is what you should do, go after this person. It did not yield the results that it was supposed to yield. Look at this failed crop of ugly, disgusting, withering, weak, failed plants. It's not what he wants. He wants this. He doesn't want this meager, like a handful of flowers. He wants this abundant, beautiful, fragrant, fertile, juicy, lovely blossoms, and that's what he wants. And look at how restrictive it is. It's just, he feels like he's in a vice-like grip, and he's like, no, this is not what I want. This is what I want. Freedom, just free-flowing, free-floating. This is just nature at its best. This is life. This is death. And he was promised life, and he's got death. And that's reflected in this Eight of Swords. He feels, this is the Lord of Shortened Force. He feels kind of like he's been pinned down. He feels trapped, pinned down, and hemmed in. And I'm seeing this is kind of like a compass the compass rose almost, and it's distorted. It's very distorted, and it's not right. The geometry is just all wrong, and he does not know which way to go. This distorted compass makes him unable to see which way to go at the moment. So he's starting to see the path. He's starting to see where he is, I should say, with the Seven of Wands. He's starting to see where he wants to be, but he's not sure how to get out of where he is right now. It's almost like he's looking out from his prison to the road to freedom, but he doesn't know how to get out of prison onto that road to freedom, because once he gets on that road to freedom, he's plain sailing. He can just run to where he wants to go, to his destination. But right now he's not feeling stable. This is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. It's the Lord of harmonious change. So he's not feeling like he's in a place where he's able to make that change. He's not got that sure footing. You know, the Knight of Wands, he doesn't have that road to run away just yet, to run away down just yet. Underlying energies, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, Lord of material gain. And this is a symbol of, he sees the divine masculine sees the divine feminine as this kind of Nine of Pentacles energy, someone who's independent, someone who's very accomplished, someone who's very, very whole in many, many ways. But there's something quite unattainable about her, especially if you're quite an independent person. There's something quite unattainable. Underneath that, we've got the Queen of Swords. So there is very much, and the Five of Swords underneath that, but that's kind of like a secondary card. But this Queen of Swords is just here to say, look, the head of this monster, this Medusa type karmic relationship, it's going to be cut off soon, but not just yet. The underlying energy is the divine feminine is permeating this relationship. And the karmic is at the very least on an energetic level, if she's not aware of you in any kind of physical way, or, you know, just any kind of way in the ether, she is. And she's uneasy about it because she can sense that this is meant to happen. The divine masculine is meant to be with the divine feminine. Weirdly enough, for this reading, I was also called to pull romance angel cards. And I was like, what? Those cards are normally only for the divine feminine and divine masculine for me. But I mean, I was called to pull them, and they're meant to give some clarity. And what the karmic god got was forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. All this is saying is this is all about the ghosts of the past being put to rest. This is karmic debt, like what I said before about karmic debt. Right now, it's all about, the only reason the karmic is on the scene is because there are debts to be paid. There are a few lessons to be learned from the past that maybe weren't learnt. A few things that need to be given back and taken back and all the rest of it. So balance is needed, and that is why they're there. And it's to release and heal the past. It's to put these things to death. It's to release them, to heal them, and to forget about them. To pave the way so that the divine masculine can experience more love in their present moments. Divine masculine got love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So this is all about the divine masculine gaining confidence, actually. It's for a lot of them, they need to come to the realization that they need to love themselves. They need to have more self-confidence. They need to have more love for themselves is the main thing. They need to also get in touch with their heart. That's a really, really big one. Underlying energies, the card was calling in your soulmate. And this is just just highlight basically the fact that this whole relationship is there to provide the sort of the contrast, essentially, the juxtaposition between the karmic, which just isn't, you know, the karmic is the Seven of Pentacles, it's the failed crop, and the divine feminine is the Ten of Pentacles, that abundant harvest. So it's just to create that contrast and that comparison and contrast between the two. And that will only serve to repel the divine masculine away from the karmic into the arms of the divine feminine, because he's going to be calling out to you, and it's going to make his heart realize that, you know, he he wants what's right for him. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So whatever is going on here, ultimately, if you look at it from a meta perspective, it's there to call in what is true. It's there to highlight what is untrue, what is the darkness. So someone, the divine masculine strikes a match and realizes that he needs the light. I also pulled some of these fortune reading cards, and what the divine, let's do the karmic first. What karmic got was marriage, and this is just a symbol of what she wants. She's desperate for, I'm going to just call her she because that's just easier, that's what I do. She's desperate for this emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. She wants what is not hers. She wants that from what is not hers, because this is the destiny of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. She wants to kind of almost steal it, usurp it. It's not going to happen. She's trying all her best because she's also incredibly desperate and insecure, and she's one of those people that just for the sake of the security and the tick box and the abundance and someone to take care of her and look after her, and just that exercise that society expects of you, to just get married regardless, automatically, without really thinking about it and feeling if it's right or not, and whether it's for the right reasons, whether it's for the highest reasons, for the divine, or if she's basically someone that wants it for a business contract, for whether that's just to feel emotionally secure or to feel financially secure or physically secure, all of those things. She wants it for those reasons. She's absolutely desperate for it. She's gagging for it for those reasons. And it's very much for her, it's to entrap the divine masculine. She wants to lock him down into wedlock. And she's trying very hard to manifest it. She's trying very hard with all kinds of dodgy, energetic ways to do that. But it's not going to happen, because look, the outcome is the devil energy. So take care immediately to avoid temptation and deceit. This is completely not authentic. And if any one of them have been messing around with things, energies that they shouldn't be, they are dancing with the devil. They are making, signings. They're selling their souls, and that's never really a good way to be, because it's not going to end well for them. Because divine masculine is absolutely fine. In other readings, I've been getting that they are incredibly, incredibly protected right now. And all of the guidance and support around them it's leaving them completely and utterly untouchable, for the most part, in terms of these energies. But it's not starred very well for these karmics. So a lot of them are really kind of entangling themselves in slightly negative, very negative energies, anything from slightly negative to very negative, and getting themselves really in contracts and in bondages that they are not, it's not going to work out well for them. Whereas the divine masculine now, he wants this, he wants the flowers, he wants to be generous, he wants the success and emotional fulfillment. And these are there for him. This is basically the sign of him wanting to be a better person. He wants to be giving. He wants to make people happy. He's actually quite desperate for that at the moment. And many of them are trying to do that with the karmics, because for whatever reason they think that they can't have it, or they thought that they couldn't have it with their divine feminines. They're trying to make amends for mistakes that they've made. But what this is saying is, this is very much a sign, again, of this Ten of Pentacles is reflected in this card. Life is happening just as it should at the right time. When the spring comes, that's when the flowers bloom. And it's almost like the spring has come for the divine masculine. He's really starting to blossom. His heart is starting to blossom with this pink flower. But I'm also seeing there's so many, this Gerbera daisy here. It's reminding me of the 1,000-petaled lotus, which is representative of the crown chakra. And this is almost like related to violet kind of colour. And it's very much to do with the mental blossomings that will happen as well. There are going to be DNA shifts. There are going to be lots of things that are just fated to happen in terms of divine timing, awakenings that the divine masculine is gonna undergo. And some of them might be small, some of them might be big. There's lots of flowers here, but the big one is coming. And when this realization happening, this is going to be a big awakening. And all they're going to want to do is fly away. They're just going to want to get up gather all their stuff and just leave, fly far, far away from this devil energy. So that's where they are. A journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Your life will become more full. So this is very much the fulfillment of their destiny, the fulfillment of their heart's desires. And we've got the underlying thing was celebrations. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. So it could be volatile situations going on in their relationship at the moment. It could be on the surface. Everything could look happy. It could look like they're celebrating having a really nice summer or winter or whatever. But underneath the energies that I'm getting, this is kind of weirdly enough, even though this is the underlying energies, I'm getting that this could be a superficial thing, and also the underlying energies are ones of very much of change, but also ultimately whatever's happening, these explosive situations, even I'm seeing a lot of red. This is kind of, I'm seeing fights, I'm seeing volatile, explosive situations. This champagne cork popping off is going to be, it's going to be someone losing their temper, someone losing their top, and overflowing, emotions overflowing. And when that finally happens, I do feel like something is going to come to a head, and it's going to be an overflowing of emotions for the divine masculine, and it's going to be very good for the divine masculine overall, and the karmic's going to be left feeling quite empty, feeling quite flat. So I also pulled some angel answers cards, and we got there's something better. So the divine, they're just going to realize that this is not for them, and underneath forgiveness at the bottom of the deck. And that's just very much about the divine masculine for sure is going to need to learn how to forgive themselves. That's also a message for the divine feminines. Any divine feminines who still haven't fully forgiven their divine masculines, please have compassion for them and do forgive them. And there's something better is this is very much, I'm seeing the angel here, and the better thing is this true divine union is there to happen. So don't stress about any of it. I was really, really getting a sense before I did this reading, like the download was very much kind of like the extreme manipulation and restrictiveness of the karmic partner at the moment is just really driving the divine masculine away. That's reflected here with this Knight of Wands running away kind of card, trying to run away energetically. Doesn't know how to do it in the physical just yet, but something will happen. There will be this explosive situation that will allow them to see the devil in the karmic partner, and will just make them pack up sticks and just leave. This is again the card of, it's related in the tarot, this is related to Capricorn, which is Saturn, which is obviously there's a Saturn retrograde at the moment, and and it's gonna ultimately just drive the divine masculine closer to the divine feminine. And I'm seeing that very, very clearly. So just relax. If any of you guys are feeling anxious, it's much better if you can just do your spiritual practices so that you can be as stable as possible. Last time I shared the chants, and I know some of you guys really, really love them, so I'm gonna add the link to Isha chants. Those chants are amazing. They're very good for energy clearing. They're very good for centering. They're very good for meditation. The app is free. It's totally free, and it totally tells you how to use the chants as well. These chants have been specially consecrated as well, which means that they are alive. They are very much, also they are sung by people who are incredibly, the people that sing those chants, Sadhguru himself sings some of them and chants some of them, and the other people are there. I know who they are in the ashram, and they are people that live there, and they are, their lives have been dedicated to spiritual service, to, they volunteer, they're kids from the school. So they're, and one guy is a very, very accomplished classical musician as well, and classical music in India is inseparable from spirituality. So it's really important who the source is of the music that you're listening to, and this is just, it's unbeatable. It's absolutely great. Plus with Sanskrit chanting, the pronunciation is paramount. It's absolutely essential that the pronunciation is spot on. It's not an easy language to master either. So all of these things, subtle kind of nuances that you need to know about about mantras and chants, and nobody, in the West, I hate to say it, but the knowledge is quite relatively superficial. So I mean, this is all the things that it should be and more. The chants have, so I thoroughly recommend that you just download the app. I absolutely love it. I listen to it quite a lot. Anyway, that is all for now. I'm sure that I'm going to be called to do more of these. I do hope that this has been helpful and useful for you, and that you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the weekend. Lots of love. Bye.